With the conclusion of the 9th stop of the 2017 World Surf League Championship Tour, we see yet another dramatic shift in the rankings. Gabriel Medina proved once again that he is a threat at any stop on tour, leaping all the way to 3rd in the rankings with his win in France. Jean Florence returns to Portugal, where he won his maiden world title in 2016, once again wearing the yellow Jeep Leaders jersey. Florence has a chance to clinch back-to-back world titles here in Portugal, a feat which hasn't been done since Kelly Slater in 2010 and 2011. Close on his heels is the burly South African Jordie Smith, who will not want to see a repeat of last year's disappointment. On the flip side, with a strong forecast on tap, this event and possibly more are John's to lose. It's the second to last event in the 2017 season. Tensions are high, and every heat win will mean the difference between achieving a goal, a dream, or losing it all. At the MEO Rip Curl Pro.
Bom dia, it is great to be back here in Peniche. We're here, of course, for stop number 9 on the championship tour, the MEO Rip Curl Pro Portugal. What an event this could be. A world title potentially going down here on these shores once again. It's all going to play out in the next couple of weeks. I can't wait to watch it unfold. Today on the morning show, it's great to have with me former world champion Martin Potter.
Morning, Ronnie.
Actually, not former. Once you got that world title, you're always
you're a world champion.
You're always a world champ.
Thanks,
And we
guys.
also got Strada Wozalewski with us. How are you, Strada?
Really well. Really well, yeah.
How were those last couple of days in France for you?
Actually, pretty amazing. Little tube rides, hanging out with my friends, high fives.
Trees.
Couple of sore heads.
Yeah, a little wine.
But it is great to be back here in Portugal, of course. But let's reflect a little bit on France, because it was a really special event. Gabriel Medina, we were waiting for him to catch fire at some point in the season. He left it very late. But, yeah, getting the win over John in the semi-finals, making things interesting coming into the last 2 events of the season, Potts.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, he's sort of one of the best there, right? So that whole adaptability sort of thing comes into play, and Medina showed some unbelievable stuff, that backside flip that he did, and, you know, just sort of put his hat in the ring again, which he always does. I mean, he's, you know, never one to sort of shy away from a challenge, is he?
We love what he brings to competition. Strider, you've been talking about wanting to see our surfers at the top end get a little bit more fired up. He's certainly that character.
He is that character, and he really does. He brings it in the water mostly, obviously. That's where his eyes roll back. He goes into shark mode. He'll do anything it takes to win, and we've seen it. But that's what I love about him. I think he's a little misunderstood by the public in a sense, where they kind of, oh, why is he doing this or that? But, you know, you catch him on land around town. He's a super, you know, charismatic guy. He's hanging out. He's having fun, and he's having a great time in life. But once he hits the water, he's not trying to make any friends, and you can see it. And I love it. I love the fire inside.
He certainly draws the whole crowd into those battles, doesn't he? But the surfing level in France was amazing. You know, and the surfers at the top end of the ratings and the back end, obviously, really starting to ramp things up coming into these
Today, what's the call and what can we look forward to looking at the forecast?
Yeah, it's average out there this morning. Onshore wind. There's a little bit of a new swell leading in kind of west-northwest direction, and there's waves out there, but the onshore wind's creating pretty bad conditions. So we're off for the day today. We'll come back tomorrow. Good news is we're going to have a great couple of days of surf, starting tomorrow with huge waves building in through the day. Should be solid, 10 to 12 feet Hawaiian, so triple overhead, holding into Sunday. And then Monday into Tuesday, there's another little swell pulse coming through on the Tuesday. So we're going to have fantastic waves for the first 4 or 5 days.
A lot to look forward to. No contest today, but stay with the WSL Dawn Patrol. After the break, we'll be having a look at John Florence and Jordie Smith's year so far.
Last year was such an amazing year to end here in Portugal, and just because what had to happen for me to win here and stuff, it was such a big, it was just like a far off thing, it seemed like. And then all of a sudden Gabriel lost out, and then I ended up making the final. So that was awesome. And then coming into this year and being in a similar situation again, with Jordie a couple thousand points behind me, and being in the yellow jersey again coming into this event. And it's just amazing to have this opportunity again, and it looks like we're going to have a really good swell coming. So I'm super excited for that because I've seen this place really good, and I think it was my first year on tour. The waves were firing like that, and it makes it one of the best waves on tour.
John Florence looking super comfortable at the moment, reflecting again on that performance he had through the rounds over in France. He is at the top of his game, taking his heat score average even higher with an amazing run of massive heat score totals through that contest.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. I mean, that backside air that he did was probably more than a 10-point ride if you took the scale that was on that day. But he's looking dangerous and kind of frothing on the conditions too. I mean, what we're looking forward to, it's going to be big barreling waves, and John's going to be hard to beat, let me tell you.
Looks like he's performing Strider with his foot to the floor at the moment, despite the pressure of trying to back a world title, which we know hasn't happened in a long time. He's doing his best surfing. I think he's surfing better than he did last year. Yeah,
it's bizarre to see like that the air rotation he did on that backhand wave in France. The way he attacked that section and just let it fly. Nobody else is doing anything that large, that in charge. I mean, he's got all these like crazy, rotations that he's doing so high above the lip on a solid wave like that. I asked him about it. Like, what were you thinking when that thing came at you? And he's just going, it didn't look that good, and I just felt like, why not just go for it? And that's his mindset, and I think that's dangerous when he's that comfortable. I mean, and his point totals are big. Obviously there's as big as they've been, but they could be even bigger. There's argument there that the judges aren't giving him high enough scores almost because he's doing stuff that nobody else is doing.
Yeah, amazing. And, you know, I think also you talk about the danger element in going for those high-risk manoeuvres. He's leaning out on the flats on some of those turns, you know, and I just love that he's not holding back because there is always a danger of hurting an ankle, a knee, and at this time of the year with a world title on the line, that would be devastating for him.
You just go back to round one of the Quick Pro France when Italo did the big backside rotator and he came back with that front side one and kind of landed real awkward, but just the, you know, the cat-like balance that he had, and he was so loose, and I think he's ready for it. I mean, you know, he's going into those maneuvers with confidence, and I think when you do that, you eliminate that injury factor.
And I think he's also trained for it, right? All the gymnastic stuff that he does, and it's all movements of side to side and stretching and reinforcing all the supportive ligaments and muscles, and that's the stuff that breaks and goes, and he's got all of that stuff covered.
Well, let's talk about Jordie Smith a little bit. We caught up with Jordie before the event window kicked off. Let's see how he's feeling going into what could be a very important contest for him.
Goals for the Portugal event, obviously to win. First and foremost, win. And then, but to win, you've got to be able to go through the steps. And I think it's just taking it day by day and, yeah, just putting your foot in front of the next one and keep it going.
Jordie Smith, obviously very focused on getting a victory here, but let's talk about his surfing a little bit, Strider. Do you think he's performing at the top of his game? I
don't. I feel like as the year's gone through, I think he started out at the top of his game. I feel like there is some pressure there, and I feel like the way that he surfed is that he lost in France. You know, his game plan could have been to just go over to that far right sandbar, find those sevens, and put the numbers up. And he kind of got lost in between surfing with Mark Lacomere or, you know, being on the right place. He ended up in the middle and out of rhythm with the entire heat. When he did catch waves, I saw kind of off the fins, not off the rail. And Jordie off the rail is like unstoppable. Yet I felt like he was kind of pushing water, trying to skip out a little bit. So I want him to settle in. I want him to refocus. I want him to go to that rail, and then we'll see the real Jordie.
Definitely. Potts, for me, it was more a tactical error rather than the performance. What are your thoughts, though? Do you think Jordie's still surfing in world title form?
I think he is. I think there's some nervous moments, though, for him. I think if he can just forget about that and just, like he said, one step at a time, go back to basics, you know, get through that first round, get that momentum going. He's surfing good enough to. I mean, he showed last year that he's good out here. He got some incredible barrels, but it's you can feel the wheels are kind of loosening a little bit. You know, he's in that world title race yet again. Is it going to slip through his fingers? I think he's got to just sort of forget about that and just focus on the job at hand, one step at a time, one heat at a time.
Look at that first heat he's got too.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Oof.
Take us through it.
There's no easy heats, though, is there?
You know,
really?
Italo's on fire. We saw what he could do. He's just coming off a birthday. He's like super excited and comfortable down here. And I believe he's got, does he have Mason or Vasco? He's got Vasco Rivera. I mean, that's going to be, this kid is so comfortable, so ready for this. He's won, you know, he's ready. And
he's made the semis here before.
And he won, I think, the national title to get there, right, into this position. So for him, he's just got nothing but pride on his shoulders, and he's all freed up, and he's got nothing to lose.
We'll get more insight on the wildcards after the break. We're going to talk to one of the surfers that's in the Rookie of the Year race, Frederick Omurice. Stay with us. back to the morning show. Ronnie Blakey here with Martin Potter, and we're now joined by a man who goes by a couple of different nicknames these days. Fred. They've been calling you Steady Freddy, the way you've been getting through the rounds of these CT events. I like the Portuguese man of war myself, but Kikish as well. Kikish?
Yeah, Kikish, that's right.
Kikish, yeah, that's right. Mate, great to have you on the show. Good to see you.
Thank you, guys. Morning,
good to see you, brother.
Thanks for having us in Portugal once again.
No, thank you, guys.
This event has been very good to you, Fred, obviously a couple of years ago, doing major damage in this contest as a wild card and getting on a bit of a magic roll with your good friend Vasco. What do you think the role of the wild cards will be in 2017?
I know, they're really good. Vasco is an amazing surfer, and he's been doing really good out here. We've seen it, and Mason is such a barrel rider, so I don't know, it's going to be really fun to watch.
Absolutely, yeah. Mason is an incredible barrel rider, and he's upset some world title hopes before here in the past as well. The waves that we're going to be looking at, it could be pretty full on, and we know that this place can kind of become a bit of a lottery depending on where you're sitting. You can find magic ones, so a real big test for those world title front runners, but a great position for you to be in at the moment, ahead of the rest of the rookie pack. You got your sights set on that Rookie of the Year title?
Yeah, definitely. It's still really close from Joan to Connor and me. There's only a few points between us, so it's going to be a tough one, I know. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun, and now I'm surfing at home, so hopefully I can do some good stuff.
Yeah, talk about that surfing at home feeling. I mean, you know, you've done so well over the past. I mean, there's your results there. Obviously, second at J-Bay, taking down the world champions. It seems to me like you're not scared of those big names.
No, I guess not anymore. Well, they're competitors. I'm on the same tour as them, so I can't be scared. So yeah, I'm just enjoying myself, and every single surfer on tour, the wild cards, everyone that comes and surfs this tour are amazing surfers, and everyone's really dangerous. You can be scared to surf John because you might win, and then you go surf against the wild card and you might lose. So I think you just got to be ready for everyone.
Well, you had that amazing heat with John at J-Bay, and we'll bring up some of that vision now. Just an incredible role that you got on. Talk to us about your first year on tour and just travelling to some of these locations for the first time and actually scoring them like this.
Yeah, it's been amazing. J-Bay was just crazy good. Unbelievable waves. The whole week, even on the lay days, it was really fun. And I guess I had my dad, my uncle over there. Dog is always with me. So yeah, it was a really fun comp. I really enjoyed myself, and yeah, it was great to have some waves like this.
Unbelievable stuff. Dog Marsh playing a really big role in your success over the years. What is it about the dog? He just seems like he brings a lot of fun to your approach to competition.
Yeah. Dog's really fun. I really enjoy working with Dog. It's been for a few years now, and the good thing is he's really straightforward. He'll just tell you anything in the face, and I guess that's what we need. We need to hear some truth sometimes, and that's the most important thing about us. We'll have a blow up with each other sometimes, but I guess that's good. That's healthy. Yeah. But yeah, he really helps me. He's a big asset on my side that I've been having since the junior years, and well, he literally qualified me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk to me a little bit about your consistency, though. That's what amazes me, is that I think I can count on one hand how many times you fall off. You don't really seem to fall off a lot, but still do enough to win heats. What's going on there?
I don't know. I guess my trainer is really good. Good legs, I guess, and I think. But yeah, I feel like if you just don't get nervous and you just stick to your plan, and you're aware of what you're gonna do and you're ready for it. Just like you said, when John goes for those airs, he's confident. He knows he's going to land them, and that just takes away the risk of injury. I guess it's the same. Not airs, but other turns.
Yep. Awesome. Well, Fred, stay with us for a bit, because after the break we're going to be having a look at the surf line forecast. Plenty of good waves coming our way at stop number 9.
the breakout. They're the ones wishing they could turn around.
Welcome back to the show. Portugal will be celebrating 40 years of professional surfing in 2017, but this event has been a fixture on the schedule since the Search event here back in 2009. Mick Fanning took out that contest. Fred, you were just a grom watching that. That must have really inspired you to fulfill a career in the sport.
Yeah, it did. It was such a good event. Big waves, small waves, and Mick was really amazing to watch. And Bid was one of my favorite surfers as well. I remember him watching him on a Billabong movie back in the day. So yeah, it was a really fun comp.
Let's talk about this surfline forecast because it looks really promising. Obviously, you're excited about the conditions that could potentially be coming our way. It could be one of the best. A lot of swell on the forecast.
Yeah, there's heaps of swell. It's looking really good. Hopefully, we don't jinx it because there's been a lot of talk about it. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed for tomorrow. Some big waves, big barrels, and yeah, not too big, hopefully, so it doesn't get too messy. Yeah.
Big, but the banks are good though, right?
The banks are really good. Yeah, the banks are really good. I surfed it here, really fun, just before the Cascais event one day, and the banks looked amazing. Even this morning, there's no barrels, but you can see how the waves are breaking, and you can see there's some really fun corners.
8 to 12 on Saturday.
Yeah,
that's bombing, right? That's solid, right?
That's solid.
So
there's
boards,
gonna be some
got to
big
step
ones.
up obviously on your bigger boards.
I would say so. I would say you need some step ups and yeah, and a lot of boards.
This is
a lot of boards.
This is what Super Tubes can do on its day. It's a magic wave. Obviously, you try and get here as often as possible, Fred, but looking at some fantastic memories of the contest.
Yeah, it's crazy. We've been some really good days here in Super Tubes. It really is a world-class wave. You can see the barrels and the scores you get here, and I feel like every year you can see some really good waves here. There's always one day where you can really perform. Even if there's no barrels, you can see some really good turns, and we've seen some huge airs out here. So yeah, it's a all-around wave. You can get barrel, turned, whatever.
You said you're working on your airs too?
Yeah, well, trying to. I guess that would be a good point for me for 2018. So yeah, trying to work on some new stuff with Dog.
I think you bring up a really good point too, Potts. This is a barreling wave, but as a result, there's so much power. It provides really big ramps too, and we've seen some of the biggest airs on the championship tour laid down on this beach. So definitely something you've got to keep working on, Freddie. And I think we expect that from all of the surfers on the championship tour. But it's going to be a fun event, mate. Best of luck to you in your quest for getting that Rookie of the Year title. It's been awesome to watch you surf this year, and looking forward to watching more next season as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's you know, I'm excited to see this all unfold as well. Don't take your foot off the gas, bud.
No, I won't. I can't.
Yeah, make sure you keep blowing up at Dog Marsh.
Yeah.
But thanks to everyone for watching the morning show. Don't forget, we'll be back here bright and early to make the official call about 7:45 for a possible 8 a.m. start. We'll see you then.